would have thought matching blocks until they disappeared from the screen would be one of the best-selling video games of all time? A few people, actually. This week, we look into the film adaptation of how Tetris was negotiated out of Russia. Tonight, we welcome back Madge.
Hi, guys.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chad, and this is episode 104 of We Used to Talk About This at Work. Right, so we are welcoming back Madge. It's been about a year since you've been on the show, but I actually saw you was like a month and a half ago in real life.
Yes. Yeah.
Sadly, not under great circumstances, but it's always good to see you, Madge.
Thank you.
So how you been? Excuse me. So how you? Nope, I'm dying. I'm sorry, I'm dead.
Oh, no.
I just died.
I just died.
Well, speaking of dying, let's not gloss over it that right now y'all in some kind of tornado, bad weather. I'm seeing stuff on social media where in Edwardsville you got people hiding out in Applebee freezers. How y'all doing? Y'all safe out there?
What? Who in the Applebee's
freezer? I worked at Applebee's. I never wanted to go in the freezer.
This is somebody from Facebook.
Yeah, they in Edwardsville, and they said they hiding in a freezer, Applebee's freezer. Y'all all right out there?
Wait, is this somebody? Is somebody we know? Is this somebody that's been on the show before?
No.
Okay.
Somebody you know.
Hey, editing Chad here. We said some stuff. Had to edit the stuff because we can't say any of that. This is where the stuff used to be. All this is unusable. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Yes. All of it is. All right. So, I don't even know where we was at. We did the beginning, and then we started talking about. So you ever seen Madge? Have you seen her on?
Yeah, man. The weather here is pretty bad. Like my daughter and I, we were coming from being out and about, and it started hailing, and I'm like, huh. And it's like she's riding with it, but I know she's not happy or comfortable. But so when we get home, and I got to get her out and take her out and all that jazz. And like she just starts crying because it's like the hail is just like coming down like rocks on top of the car. So it wasn't a pleasant time.
I wasn't outside, but Derek was like, "You hear that? Go downstairs." And he had Dominic first. He was like, "Well, take them." And I had Dominic. I grabbed the flashlight. We came in the basement. Then he runs back upstairs to get the playpen. And we turned on the news because we were watching the basketball game. The Knicks versus the Cavaliers. The Knicks won. Woohoo! Because I was going for the Cavs for this one. And I went out in the garage, and the whole garage door is shaking. The windows out there were shaking. I was like, wow. The trash can blew over, so you could hear the trash can. So it was
like rolling and stuff.
Yeah,
that's terrible. Yeah,
but we all good now.
This weather is something else. Yeah, like my power went out briefly earlier today.
Oh, for the first time?
Yeah. Like it went out and then like it came back on like as soon as it went out. So thankful for that.
Right.
But since you were on the topic of basketball, Madge, what are your thoughts about the playoffs?
So my thoughts about the playoffs are, I'm a big Golden State fan. So I really want Golden State to go back and win and get them their fifth ring. I want Steph to get him his fifth ring, but I am thinking that they may not even go to the finals. I'm thinking that it may be between the Celtics, who are boom, and what we call the St. Louis Celtics because of our boy Jason Tatum. And the Suns, because the Suns are looking good with KD on the team. So I'm thinking that it may be between those two teams that's going to go to the finals.
I defer to Matt because he knows what the hell you just said.
You don't want to talk about sports ball, but I agree with you for everything. I root for Golden State Warriors because I love Steph Curry, but I agree. Celtics are rocking. They blew them boys out the water the other day, and then like what are they? They've only lost like 2 games or something like that since KD's been on the team. So these first couple rounds, it's probably gonna be some blowouts. But then as we get closer in, it's probably gonna be some good games. But I just don't want Philly to win because I don't like Joel Embiid.
Joel did so good tonight too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't want Philly to win. Who else is in this thing?
So
The
today we
Heat is
had
in.
okay. So the Grizzlies are playing the Lakers tomorrow, and I think that's
I can't wait for
great.
it. Right, I can't. That's gonna be entertaining. I want to see how that
Yes,
goes.
that's gonna be a good series because I wanted to go so bad. I love Ja Morant, except for that stuff he pulled in where was he at Denver? That was crazy. But him as a ball player, he can ball his butt off. So I think him and the Lakers are gonna be.
Wait. What are you doing in Denver?
You ain't see what he did in Denver when he was at that
He
strip
did.
club with the gun,
He
acting
did
all
a.
stupid, singing the
He
song.
did a lot of stuff. He had a gun out in the strip club. He apparently his mother was at a Foot Locker or a Finish Line up in the mall. Maybe an employee. She proceeded as disrespect. So then she called him. So he showed up with his boys, everything to the mall.
Threatened the
Apparently
security
he
guard.
punched some 17. Yeah, threatened the security guard at the mall. And apparently he might have punched a 17-year-old. Yeah, he's just out of control. He doing
What's this
stuff
guy's
like
name?
Ja
Ja
Morant.
Morant.
His real name is like Tremel or something, but his middle name is something, and he goes by Ja Morant. Ja.
Yeah.
He's a great ball player. Oh my
I
goodness.
see.
Phenomenal.
He's 23 years old.
Yeah, he young.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You already inked up, man? Like,
And you know,
Hey,
that's
man,
the thing that they do. They get the
the
ink.
kids be getting inked up at like 15, 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
like
If
I'm
you
not.
ever watch some AAU game, you see these kids, you think they like 19, 20 with all these tattoos.
No, I'm not saying like you don't have tattoos. I'm like, you got like both your arms are covered in tattoos and stuff, and it's like you just 23. You're gonna have some other ideas of some stuff you want, going down the line. Save some space for the future.
He gonna put it on his legs then.
Yep, you got your legs, you got your back.
Right. Do you have any tattoos, Chad?
I don't. I'm not against it, but at this time, I don't have anything.
I got my first one when I think I was 19. I got it with my grandma. So my grandmother was in the chair next to me and she was getting a tattoo on her boob. She got a snake, a king cobra. Yeah, she got a king cobra. And it's like almost starting to wrap around the boob a little bit. And it comes up like right here and it has the tongue out with cherries on the tongue. Grandma sitting in the chair taking it like a G. And I am in the next chair crying, like, oh my God, are you finished? I got some roses on my back and I'm just crying. And he's like,
where on your back?
Just right here. It's at the top.
Okay, because if you were like lower, like tramp stamp area, from what I understand, that hurts.
Yeah. I don't have a tramp stamp, but
no, I'm just saying like that part of the body,
Nah, everything on the back hurts.
But then I got one right here. Like I got Devin's name right here, but I feel like I was feeling like up here in my neck or something.
You can't do that. Where is right here?
On my shoulder blade, guys. And it has my son's name, Devin, my oldest son, and it has a little heart or whatever. So yeah.
Okay.
And that one really hurted her all the way up to like I felt her back behind my earlobe. It was like those nerves or something. But yeah. But every time I go, I just kept thinking grandma was sitting there like a G, just getting all the good stuff. And she showed that tattoo to everybody who wanted to see. Anybody wanted to see that king cobra with the cherries out, she let you see it.
Okay. I like grandma's spirit. I like that.
Yeah.
How many tattoos do you have?
I have two. How many do you have, Matt? You have tattoos?
I have a lot. I have my first tattoo was 18. I went to get king on my hand.
Oh, okay.
The front of my hand. I got my next one was a cross on my left arm.
Okay.
Then I got it's not just a name, it's a lifestyle on the right side of my chest with a crown.
Oh, okay.
Then I got the wife's name on the left side with the tiara. Then I got my brother, sister, and mother's names on my ankles. I got on my upper back. What do I have on my upper back?
Get the mirror out.
What's the word say right here?
He can't even remember.
Oh, the chosen one. There we go. The chosen one. And then I got one angel wing, and then I got dog tags with my son's information on it, just like dog tags hanging from your neck.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Chad, you got to get your virgin body stamped up.
Yeah, you want to be like us and get your children's names tattooed on you.
I
Yeah.
do want something related to her. Like, I don't know, like maybe get her like I don't know how much sense this makes, but like the spelling of her name, like her first and middle name, but like the letters form a heart.
Oh, okay.
I
That's
was
cute.
mulling that over, but I don't know.
No.
Oh yeah. Tell your tattoo artist they can do whatever you want.
Speaking of kids and all that jazz, these kids really gonna be embarrassed out here on this Freaknik documentary.
Yeah, they sure is.
So, what are your thoughts on this? Because it's like we kind of talked about this offline a little minute ago, and I personally thought that this documentary is coming like within the next couple weeks, but apparently it's not coming out to next year.
Right, where I was surprised by it too. As much as people are talking about this and everything, I'm like, this is gonna die down and then come back up once it comes back out.
Like, what was even the point of and like even bringing it up so early? I don't get
I
that.
think buzz to get more buzz online and get everybody talking about it. But then people started
Have you,
talking about it, and then people started getting like freaked out, like, oh, what type of footage y'all gonna show? I
and then
seen
you see how they started putting out what they call it what they call it, a PR I forget what you call it when you try to get ahead of the story. Put your statement out first. I've been
Right.
seeing people put their statements out talking about that wasn't me. That was a different time and everything else like that. It's like you don't even know if you own this or not.
I seen footage that somebody had of Kanye West at the Freaknik, and he was with his little flip phone, and he's videotaping a girl and she twerking, and I'm just like, well, okay, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I
But
saw that too.
I saw a question that somebody had, and it said, do you think the documentary is going to bring up like assault charges against people? And I wasn't unsure how to answer that one. I thought at first I was like, well, no. But then I was like, well, if they did see something and a young lady said no or whatever, it may could bring up something,
I
some
mean,
type of
isn't
assault
there a
charges or something
statute
from the
of
past.
limitations though? I'm only saying this because of like I am gonna. This is somewhat ignorant of me, but like I remember like there was a episode of Law and Order SVU where they
Mhm.
were trying to race the clock to try and press charges against somebody before the statute ended.
Yeah, I saw that episode.
Mhm.
So
But
like
you know what? I
maybe
don't know because it's like, okay, well, are you because you're pressing charges in Atlanta? Like, what are the Atlanta limitations? But if I
right.
was somewhere else, like, okay, well, can I press charges and I'm in Indiana, even though it happened in Atlanta? Like, so, like, I don't even know how that goes. But
Yeah.
hopefully, nobody gets in trouble. Hopefully, it was all just
I mean, but that's the thing.
nasty fun.
Like
See,
it with anything, there's gonna be something sideways happening. You
Of
know.
course.
because also it depends on what I read something where it's about which angle they take on this Freaknik thing. So like one person brought up the example of when they did, I guess there's a documentary about girls gone wild, right?
There
And it
is.
really wasn't
I
so
haven't seen
much
them.
yeah, and apparently it really wasn't so much of the girls going wild. It was more about the people running it and the legal and not good stuff they were doing. It wasn't really about the it was about the women involved on some of the situations about assault and things like that. But the main thing was about the shady business of the people behind that brand. So I don't know enough about Freaknik. I know it was like a time where people used to go and I don't really okay, let me start right there. What is Freaknik to you guys? Because from without being like you said, being ignorant, I don't know. Because like from what I've seen, it's kind of like a party in the streets. I don't know what this is.
I thought it was just a party in the streets in Atlanta where people went down and they wore barely their clothing like the girls wear now. That's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna read this from Wikipedia.
Okay.
Freaknik is an annual spring break festival in Atlanta, Georgia. It's primarily attended by students from historically Black colleges and universities. It began in 1983 as a small picnic in a public park near the Atlanta University Center, sponsored by the DC Metro Club for students who could not afford to return home for spring break. Sounds noble. It continued as an annual event held during the third weekend in April. The event increased in size and popularity in the 1990s, incorporating dance contests, concerts, parties, a basketball tournament, rap sessions, a film festival, and a job fair.
Oh, okay.
The Atlanta magazine called it Atlanta's most infamous street party. In 1999, actions by the police and elected officials caused celebration of Freaknik to cease. A revamped version returned for one day on June 22nd, 2019, as Freaknik Atlanta 19, the festival, with a concert. As of 2020, it was set to move forward as a 3-day event centered around artists performing. Yeah. So okay, so it ended in
So it's just
99.
so it's just like a spring break type of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So Black Spring Break.
Right.
You know, we have
Right.
one here. We have a St. Louis Freaknik. It's gonna be June 3rd.
Seriously?
It's gonna be at my job.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Tickets
saw
$50.
I saw you share that. So I was like what's a free I was like what is this? Like I know the general of it, but I was like, oh, okay. So I was trying to read information, and then the dude was like, or the post was like 25 years or up, or 25 years and up. And then somebody was like, why is it 25 years and up? But there was no response. So I guess previously it was for they was like they don't want no younger crowds in there. That's what I'm assuming. That's why they
Last
changed
year,
it to 25.
I didn't go and I didn't work last year, but last year it was a lot of people and they were dressed. Guys were dressed up looking for the girls, and the girls was having it all looking good. So they're figuring it's gonna be way bigger this year. So it's gonna be vendors, all type of stuff. And I was like, $50 a ticket, dang, but it's people been buying them tickets up. So
Chad, you should venture out there. Do a on-site thing and let us know what's going down
We're
at
gonna
the
have
St.
a
Louis
live.
Freaknik.
We're gonna have a live podcast.
Yeah. Be like one of those people you see online where it'd be like interviewing the girls. So what's the wildest sex thing you've done? And then they say something crazy and we could post that.
But you know what? Also, now I've seen some of the other documentaries that Hulu had done, or the stories that they've done. Like I've just watched the one about the Chippendale dancers, which I didn't know that whole story, so that was interesting. And then I ended up watching the Playboy one, and I think the way they did it was tasteful. I'm just hoping that they do the same with that one.
So, scrolling down on the wiki page, it talks about references to Freaknik in popular culture. And it says that a season 6 episode of Sister Sister chronicled Tia and Tamara's trip from Michigan to Atlanta to go to Freaknik.
Really?
I do not remember this at all.
I don't remember that one at all.
So we might have to look into that.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm interested. Well, let me say this. Right now, I'm interested. If they decide to release this next year when Freaknik would have occurred, I probably won't care.
I'm with you. I care now, but like you said,
I'm thinking that people are thinking since the documentary is coming out, it's going to give more women a voice to start speaking up. There's going to be a lot of Me Too. Me Too, the Me Too movement is going to keep going. Oh, speaking of Me Too movement, did you guys see that third part of the R. Kelly documentary on Netflix? Y'all see the third part?
They still got parts of that coming out?
Yeah, it's the last one. I forgot the name. What was it called? Dang. Anyway, that man, the last part really solidified, like, that man has real problems. We took his songs off our playlist. I was like, I will never, ain't no Believe I Can Fly no more for me. Like, I am good. Like,
that man single-handedly ruined Space Jam.
You know what? That sucks, don't it? But man.
Right.
So you say prom is expensive, Madge? You're paying for tuxedos and boutonnieres and limos and all that stuff?
The limos. I think the cheapest limo I found was like $750. $800.
Why are you paying for a limo? Just get that boy an Uber and keep it moving.
I mean, who don't want to try to get to prom in style?
You know what's in style? Actually getting to prom. That's in style.
You know, Yes. Did you hear about the two in Alabama that passed away last night? They was in a car accident after prom. Yeah. Nice little beautiful African American couple
You
too.
say after prom?
Yeah, they was going home after prom and they got into a car wreck.
That's terrible.
Yeah, they had on I think the boy was going to he was a basketball player going to a D1 school and everything.
Jeez.
But no, the tuxedos is expensive. The dang on girls getting dresses that cost more than my wedding dress. Okay. Now I didn't get the most expensive dress, but they getting these dresses made for like $1,000 and stuff. That stuff expensive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How do you
My
tell your
uncle,
teenage daughter that that's stupid?
well, no,
Well,
not
no one
stupid.
has daughters here, but
But no, it's not. It's not the fact that it's not stupid because of course you want to look nice for prom, but I feel like parents are going overboard. Like for me, when I was in prom, I bought my dress the year before for my senior year, and we just doctored it up some, and I was still looking good and feeling fresh. I feel like some people just overdo it. If you're doing all this for prom, what you gonna do when they get married? I'm not gonna go broke for somebody prom.
right. But no, that's what I'm saying. Because to an extent, yes, it's the parents that's enabling it. But it's like where are the kids getting the ideas from, right? Like not the peer pressure,
Yeah,
but like the environment that they're in.
yeah, prom. Did you see these kids with these prom proposals? I was like, I think last year my
We
son
doing
he
too
did
much.
he made a bouquet out of candy and he gave it to the girl or whatever. But I don't know what he's doing this year. But I'm just like, that's y'all. He bought a big old bouquet out of roses, bought her a stuffed animal, like all types of stuff.
Matt, did you go to prom?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you have a date?
No.
Did you have a date match?
I did.
So how did your date ask you to prom?
Well, okay, so my date at prom was my boyfriend at the time, but I
Okay,
did not want to
well,
go with him. I wanted to go with my ex-boyfriend, and I had dropped hints there a whole month. Like, oh my goodness, prom. Like I because we had just started getting back to like being friends again. We had dated from 8th grade to 10th grade year. That was the little love of my little life. And 12th grade, we started talking back. And so I was dropping hints like just for him to ask me this whole time. And then my boyfriend asked me, like, oh, you want me to go to prom with you? And I was like, okay. And then my ex-boyfriend asked me like the next day. And I was like, boy, I've been dropping hints forever. Like now my boyfriend asked me, I gotta go with him. But my best
how
friend,
exactly does that work? If your
Man,
ex-boyfriend,
why you let a relationship get in the way of a good thing, man?
right. So my best friend, so my dress was actually my ex's favorite color, blue and everything. So when we got to the prom, my best friend was like, oh, I need y'all to get together. So she's talking to me and my ex-boyfriend, like, get together so I can take y'all pictures. And she's making our dates all uncomfortable because she's taking pictures like y'all was supposed to be together. Like, yeah, like
girl,
that was really crazy.
your friend is wild. No, so like mine, I had a date to prom and like I was, went to the room to pay for everything, pay for the ticket. And then I saw this girl and I was like, oh, you got a date? She's like, nah, you want to go together? Yeah. Full disclosure, she was not my first pick. My first pick said no. Also, you and Matt have seen Cocaine Bear. Madge, what is your mini review of it?
So I watched it earlier today. I wanted to laugh at some parts. And then I was like, did that shit really happen? So then I had to watch some of the documentary and I only made it through half of the documentary. But I was just like, the movie was crazy. Because I was like, this bird, he was like the bird. It was first I thought it was a guy bird, but it was a girl.
It
But they didn't
was?
say it to like, yeah, it was a female bear. They didn't say it
Yeah.
to like halfway through the movie that it was a girl. I thought it was a guy and the boy bear was just going crazy after this cocaine. But I was like, well, dang, cocaine making him bite people. He was biting people and all type of stuff. I mean, she was, not he. But I was like, the cocaine made her do that. And she was sniffing it out. And she wanted that cocaine. She was getting it everywhere.
So
And then I was like, the dang on kids and try some of the cocaine. I just knew they wasn't gonna do it.
wait, kids was getting high too?
Well, because the cocaine was in the wooded area in like Freevee Park, but it was in Tennessee in the movie. So they found a big brick, and so the little boy and the girl was talking, and she told him to try some, and he didn't want to at first. And the girl, she's like, "Well, how do you do it?" And she cuts it open, and he was like, "You're supposed to eat it," and she ate it, and they spit it out. And I was like, "Stop playing! Like y'all was out here putting the cocaine in y'all mouth, like that's crazy."
These
But the
kids wild out
documentary
here.
was a little bit different from the movie, so. But the man who threw the cocaine, and number one, the cocaine was pure. In real life, it was 95% pure because I watched the documentary. So that cocaine, they said, was some good stuff. It wasn't no nasty stuff, it was some good stuff. And the man who threw it out the plane, he was found in Georgia. No, the cocaine was in Georgia, but the man was found in Tennessee, and the plane fell down in South Carolina. And I was just like, that's crazy. So listen to what this man. So number one, the man had 30 to 40 kilos of cocaine on him. And so they said on the man's body, right, he had one attack knife, he had some daggers, he had $5,000 in cash, he had night vision goggles, he had diamonds. They showed his diamonds, and they was in a money belt. They was some nice sparkly big diamonds too. He had some gold Kruger hands, like some gold coins or whatever. And he was wearing some Gucci slides. Now, why are you on a plane and you have your parachute on and you rock some Gucci? You ain't got the tennis shoes on. You got the Gucci slides. Like I just thought it was.
He showed
crazy.
up.
Oh,
Yeah, if I'm gonna be delivering this cocaine, I need to be looking cute. All right.
Yeah.
And comfortable.
Oh,
Right.
and they said he had like this watch, and they said it was like a James Bond looking watch, and it shot out tear gas. And I was like, that's some crazy stuff. So yeah, the movie was really interesting. And like I said, I wanted to laugh at some parts, but then I was like, man, did that really happen? So yeah, it was crazy.
So Matt, you have experienced the wonders of ChatGPT as well?
Yes, I was reading something and they were talking the chat stuff, and I was like, huh. Well, I've been thinking about writing this pilot episode for a script. So I was like, let me see if they could write me a script. So I put my little information in. Of course, I had to find a free one to do it. So I put my little information in. I was like, yeah, write a pilot script for a comedy about housekeeping. Now, I'm about to read this to you, okay? Let's get ready. Title of this is called Maid in Hotel. Fade in, exterior hotel, day. We see a grand hotel shining in the daylight. The camera zooms in on the entrance where a banner reads, "Welcome to the Royal Palace Hotel, where luxury meets comfort." Inside the hotel room, day, we see a woman, Angela, cleaning a room with a vacuum cleaner. She is wearing a uniform and a name tag that reads Angela Housekeeping. She is humming a tune while cleaning. Angela singing, cleaning, cleaning. Oh, it's so fun. Cleaning, cleaning. It's never done. Suddenly her phone rings and she stops cleaning to answer it. Angela, and to the phone, hello. Cut to interior hotel lobby. We see Angela's friend and colleague, Lisa, who's also wearing a uniform and a name tag that reads Lisa Housekeeping. Lisa on the phone. Angela, I need your help. I'm stuck in room 205 and I can't find my way out. I think it's a maze. Angela on the phone. What do you mean a maze? And it ends right there. It'll give me the rest.
Cliffhanger, Matt. Cliffhanger.
So I guess I have to build after that. And then I'm like, I was doing it. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that was good. I want to know what happens next. How she get trapped in the room. But I guess I might need like a hey version to get a full length one.
Yes.
But I thought that was pretty good.
I mean, it gives you like a nice like starting template.
Mm-hmm. I also was able to catch I watched a lot of stuff this week. And one thing I was able to watch was Unstable on Netflix, starring Rob Lowe.
Oh,
and John
yeah.
Owen Lowe. Yeah. It's about a famous scientist, inventor who wife dies, but then he's like not doing his science role stuff. He's kind of like stuck in a rut and things. His what do you call it? A child that they don't mess with, that don't mess with their parent anymore. Estranged.
Yeah.
So he has an estranged son who's like smart and brilliant like him, and he don't really mess with him because living in his shadow and stuff like that. But it's a comedy though, so it's not a lot of episodes. It's good. I explained this poorly to you guys, but what this is, but nah, it's good. It's good.
So it's a series. I thought it was a movie. It's a series.
Yeah, it's a series.
Okay.
Yeah, sitcom humor like Office or any of that other kind of stuff. So no, it was good though.
How many episodes?
I don't know. Not a lot. Let's see. 8.
Not terrible, like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. And also I found my new crush, you will say.
So actually, let's talk about this because, like, I'm gonna get into it on my subject, but Matt and I spoke on the phone yesterday, and you had words with me because of why?
I don't remember now.
My crush.
Oh, because I hate your crush, and I think you're
your
stupid
crush?
for that. But I was going to get to that on my next topic.
I mean, that's why I'm like, oh, I didn't know you gonna bring up our conversation.
But no, that's because I was showing no, not that one. Not that crush. The one I sent to you and Jared. Glasses.
Who the fuck is glasses?
Well, no, remember I was like, I think I have a thing for nerdy girls and glasses because I liked Poppy from
Yeah.
Mythic Quest, and now they have a girl. The actress name is Rachel Marsh. She's her name on the show is Luna, and she's like a scientist with glasses on the show.
Oh,
and I was
on
like,
that show. Okay.
Yeah, on Unstable.
Okay.
But I say all that to say this. Okay. Now, remember when Abbott Elementary came out, and I was always like how great Abbott Elementary was, and Chad was like, yeah, okay. And I was like, no, it was really good. It's like the best show. And Chad was like, okay, I'll eventually watch it and all this other stuff.
I've seen episodes of it.
And
You
then
haven't
they
watched
went.
it for real though? It's great.
I've
Chad.
seen
Right.
like half the first season.
You a hater.
And then they went on and to win all these awards, right?
Right.
If I had a stamp that I was going to put on for the best stuff that you guys need to watch, the new one, Beef. Go ahead and watch Beef with
Ali Wong and Stephen Young.
Well, I had to get his name because I was about to say Glenn for The Walking Dead.
Right.
But yes, Ali Wong is my new crush. I love her. I did after this. Don't worry, I'm about to get to Beef. But then, like, I had my infatuation after watching this. So I was like, I knew she was a stand-up comedian, and I wanted to go watch her stand-up. Nah, it wasn't it though. It wasn't hitting at all. So, yeah. But nah, this Beef stuff was amazing though. Did not care for that stand-up. But she's amazing in Beef. So, Beef is a roller coaster. It starts off just a normal road rage incident. You know, he backs up, he's about to hit her, she honks her horn, they yell, she flicks him off, this road rage. That is just the start of this. And this thing keeps escalating to crazy heights to where all this started just because of road rage.
And you ain't seen it?
No, it just came out like last week, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Whenever I go, man, I'm sorry.
Right. So I'm not giving no kind of spoilers on this because it is worth it for you to watch this.
I
This
think
show's
it's gonna be a season 2.
Oh, it has to be. Like this show is amazing. Now, our Asian brothers and sisters out there, I was reading stuff on there where they were saying that like the family and everything is like authentic and everything, how they interpreted stuff. So kudos on them for that, representation wise. But like entertainment wise, this show is amazing. Shout out to my horny brothers and sisters. Ali Wong does do a booty pick in this one. So if you into that, that's out there for you. But this show is amazing. I love Ali Wong. Fuck Aquafina. We can get on that one now. Everything that Aquafina has ever been in, fuck it. It should have been Ali Wong in that. And I don't care. I don't even remember everything she's been in, but I want Ali Wong in everything now.
How did I describe Ali Wong? How did I describe Aquafina on that bonus episode the other day?
Oh, okay. That's Aquafina.
Oh yeah, you said that you said that she is you said something along like what's the word you use?
She's short. She's so short.
Yeah.
I could put her in my pocket.
Yeah, you said short and you say problematic. You said a word
she
like
has
that.
a very unique voice.
He does.
Yes. Oh yeah, you said the unique voice. Well, yes.
And then she is just so problematic, and that's just the icing on top, man. Those the sprinkles. I know she's toxic, man. I know this. These are things that I know.
That's gonna be a no for me, dog.
we gonna be kicking it, and she gonna call me the N-word. I know it. She gonna be like, "That's right, my N-word," and I'm like, "Girl."
I can hear her saying that too.
Girl, yeah.
See?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sure there's video of her saying that somewhere.
But yeah, so I'm all on this Ali Wong beef train, and because I know she was in that other movie, Will You Be My Maybe? I vaguely
like that
remember
one.
watching
that was okay.
That was really
Yeah.
funny.
So I hope she gets the rocket ship tour, like well, in my opinion, Jenna Ortega. I didn't really hear about her till Wednesday. The next thing you know, she's on everything now. So I hope Ali Wong gets that same kind of attention to where she gets blown up and she gets all the stuff for her.
I mean, what was helpful with Jenna Ortega was that the Wednesday dance like blew up into like a TikTok sensation. And so like I'm not really seeing any TikTok sensation stuff of beef.
Well, but go out and watch Beef. You're gonna love it.
It was really good, Chad. I will say, I really liked it. I did like the representation of all of the different cultures, Korean, Japanese, and everything. I think that they did a wonderful job with casting. I'm in the movie like, oh, I remember that person. So Glenn from Walking Dead. It was the one guy from Umbrella Academy. He was the we can't say too much because Shad ain't seen it yet, but he was the one with the ex with his ex-girlfriend, or that married at the church. The one that was the pastor leader.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, thought I just really liked all of the different levels that they gave. Ali Wong did a great job. I thought she looked good in that blonde hair. I wish
Me too. I was like
this.
Well, when she first did it, I was like, I'm not feeling this. But then there's a cat going on. I was like, oh, I am feeling this.
Yeah. Then she got real naughty in that one scene. She told old dude to spit on it. I said,
yeah, she's like, spit on it. Yes.
Okay,
hold up. I'm back in. Hello there. What's going on here?
That's
spitting on what?
Right. It's really good from start to finish. I think it was 10 episodes. I think it was 10 or 11, but yet it was really good. And as soon as it ended, I was like, man, I hope they do a second season. I really feel like they're going to do a second. It gave a really good cliffhanger or whatever for that second season. But yeah, it's a really good watch. Everybody should go watch it. Chad, you gotta watch it. Oh my goodness. And then we gotta come back again and talk about it once you watch it, because then you're gonna know why Matt like that's the girl right now. So because I was like, okay, well dang, I had to play that scene over again. I was like, you better get it.
When she took that booty picture, I was like, let me rewind that real quick. And I was like, okay, got a little thing. All right, then.
That was so funny. Oh, dude had it in his phone. He looked back at it. I was like, you saved your brother. You saved that
was, and that's another. Okay. Let's talk about that. I thought that was weird as shit. Okay, so basically, damn, we can't say that part because that's part of the story.
Say whatever.
Okay, basically, what happens is, unbeknownst to him, like, so Ali Wong and Glenn, they're the ones with the road rage. Blah 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 happens, and next thing you know, Glenn's brother starts texting and everything Ali Wong. So, she starts, their relationship progress. So she sends him a booty pic, right? Whatever. So then Glenn was going to masturbate, but then he decides not to because he's seen the picture before of his brother, the picture the brother had. So then he shared the picture from his brother's phone to his phone, and he was about to masturbate to it. So, for example, that's like you get a booty pic, and I over your shoulder, I see it, and I'm like, damn, I want to masturbate. Let me go get that booty pic for the girl you talking to and masturbate to it.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Then I seen a thing online where it was like, who was the bad person? Was Allie the bad person? Was Glenn's character the bad person? Was the cousin the bad person? Was the brother? And I was like, well, it really started off with Allie because she took it too far. Like, she hung for a long time. Then she sped up a little bit. Then she flicked them off. And I was like, man,
they are both bad because it kept like
going.
Every time one of them could have stopped, but then they didn't. So it just like, they're both bad. Like, let me take that back. All of the characters are bad in this, but it's just the degrees of how bad. Like, there is nobody good in this movie. The Ali Wong mother-in-law wasn't good. Her husband technically wasn't good.
No. Because he was like an old girl.
So hold up. So the inciting incident was Glenn almost hit Ali Wong, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And like, okay, but then it's like we've all been in situations right like that, right? Where you almost get into like a little fender bender with somebody, there's honking, somebody throws a finger up, and then you guys go on your merry ways. Why did Glenn chased her, right?
Yeah, he
Yes.
started chasing her. Yeah.
Okay,
Why?
so
So
there's, like I always say, you never know what people are going through. It might seem like a small thing, but that's the last straw for people. And that's what it was. These people were dealing with pressure, stress, all of the above, and these incidents were their breaking point.
Yeah.
So these didn't come from, and it wasn't like he was having a cheerful day, and then this happened. These were people that was on their breaking point where this thing happened, and they snapped.
Yeah. Yeah. And they literally was taking it. They just took it too far. It's like I feel like it was like a banana. Like the first episode was like the peeling, and then as the episodes went on, you was like peeling the banana back or whatever. Like it literally talked about, touched on their lives, like their family's life. Like it was really good. So whoever wrote it and did the movie did a great job. You'll
Right.
really like it. Outside of Ali Wong did look good with that blonde hair though.
look, she's not appropriating Black culture, so I'm not really sure how attractive
When you
she
see
is.
her, you gonna tell little Aquafina to go on to the side because you're gonna make space for Ali.
Right.
So what is this last thing you watched, Matt?
So I don't know if it was last week or the week
It
before
wasn't.
that.
It was with Japan Josh.
Gosh. So so a couple weeks ago I said I wanted to watch a movie to make me cry. And Josh from Japan recommended, what was it, Your Name or whatever it was.
Well, we reviewed Your Name,
Oh,
but
no.
then he recommended like a couple things we should watch.
Yeah, and it was like the last one I watched, I forget, was
Deaf Girl.
yeah, the Deaf Girl one. I'm like, it was sad, but it didn't make me cry. So I talked to him the other day, and he was like, "Oh, you want to cry? It's watch. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll watch it."
It's a horror movie or a documentary?
No, it's an anime movie.
Oh.
I cried 3 times in this movie.
Oh.
Like boohoo, like ugly tears, or just like
Yeah, like tears,
tears, like wipe that little tear.
like tears coming down my face. Like when I was watching it I watched it on my laptop, and then during dinner, and then my son is having me tissues. Like, so it's basically it's about this girl who basically she is dying, and like she, like back in the day or whatever, like she read a story to where they were like, yeah, if you had a problem with like liver cancer or something like that, and if you eat somebody's good liver, then your liver will be good. So she was talking to this guy. He's one of those reclusive guys where you don't have no friends or nothing. He's just kind of by himself. And she meets up with him through working at the library and stuff. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I want to eat your pancreas because he has a good pancreas." It was like that. So then like she's dying and everything. So she's spending her last days with him and everything. And this shit is so sad. I don't want to spoil it, but I spoil it. It's just so sad, like everything she's doing and everything, and then she's writing in her journal about all the stuff she wants to do, and then she has a health scare. She ends up in the hospital, and this guy's been with her to do the stuff, and then she tells him, she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm getting better, and I'll be able to finish all this stuff before she dies or whatever." She gets out the hospital, and she dies.
Oh wow.
But the thing is, she didn't die from her disease. She died from a random mugging, stabbing. Like a random person stabbed her and shit like that, and she died. So she was already battling the disease, and then now this happened. It was just so sad. So I was like, I needed a good cry. I got that good cry out. So if you want to cry, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. But yeah, I'm never watching that movie again. Yeah, I don't need to do that again twice. But it was very sad. All right, Chad. So speaking of health stuff, you want to talk about a health scare you had?
Yeah, I thought I was gonna die the other day.
Oh, really?
And the good friend that I am, when he was telling me about this, it's like, well, if you die, we done with this podcast. I'm not going to continue on. Not on the sense of because I'll be too sensitive to move on or anything else like that to do this. It was more like I'm not going to do that work you do and everything else like that. Good friend.
That really makes me feel like we have a very balanced relationship, man.
It does. If you're not here, then there's no need for me to do this. See, that's true love. That's love.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, what happened?
So
Or can you tell us what happened? You feel comfortable?
Yeah, I put it in the outline. I'll talk about it.
It's probably that those damn energy drinks y'all was drinking.
You been drinking energy drinks, Shad?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So Thursday, it's my in-office day. And when I go to the office, I don't really eat for real. Cause I'm like, I don't want to be here. I just want to clickety clack and roll out. And so I start the day off like I make my little canteen of coffee. I take it to work, and I have like a protein bar in my bag. And if I feel sleepy, I drink an energy drink. And so I ate all that shit at work that day. And then I went to the gym, got my exercise going. I'm like, I'm feeling good. And like, I'm leaving the gym and I'm like, my heart rate is still up and I feel a little wonky, but I'm like, I just burnt that. I just burnt it hard. That's all. So like I get home, shower, get changed, and I'm like, I still feel weird. And my heart rate still hasn't gone down. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna die. So I text my cousin, Bree, and I was like, hey, can you, periodically check in on your boy? Cause like I don't feel good. And she's like, okay, run through your day with me. And she's like, why did you have a model's diet today? Like all you needed was like cigarettes and like you would have been okay. And I'm like, I hear you. I don't have an answer for that. But yeah. And so
you can at least get some of them Campbell soups to drink. You can gulp it down.
No, I didn't want to leave any trace. So then I text Matt and I was like, hey man, I might die, but you keep the show going for me. And he's like, okay. And then the next morning he calls me and he's like, yeah, I wasn't gonna be doing that shit, right? I'm like,
right, because I didn't hear from him. So I was like, is he alive? I was like, he alive.
Yeah.
Well, dang, I have to say I feel some type of way because I talked to you on Thursday. We were talking about my mom being at the gym. So I had a whole conversation with you and you ain't even saying none of this stuff.
I didn't want to bring you down, man.
I'm feeling like I'm out of the friend circle lately. I know there's a lot going on with my life, but y'all can still fill me in on stuff.
And that's why you got a lot going on. How many movies did you have to cram this week so that you be prepared for this podcast? I wasn't trying to add more weight to the load.
Ooh, whatever.
But
I'm glad you was good though. But start eating something. Hey, make your peanut butter and jelly sandwich or something. Get you a Lunchable.
That's too much extra shit.
Oh
yeah, so
I thought a Lunchable. Just get a Lunchable.
Yeah.
They don't have a store thing like a previous workplace.
Not since COVID.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
They had like hot food, like that you could buy, like that they made in front of you.
Right. They did used to have it up there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Man, they go to Snooksy, right? You was right by. You could have got you some gas.
I'm not trying to do nothing extra. I'm not trying to leave. I'm not trying to go back through security. I'm not trying to microwave nothing. I'm not trying to keep anything refrigerated. I'm just trying to
grab a banana.
I'm trying to get in.
Yeah,
and
banana,
get out.
spoonful of peanut butter. You would have been good. You had some energy and everything. See?
I'm dead again now. Thank you.
Oh, what, you allergic to peanut butter?
No, I choked on the laughter. So I finally got to check out the Mario movie. Did you want to get your son, Matt? Or is he good? Is he too good for our little rinky dink show?
No, he not. I don't want to go get
It's fine. It's fine.
Matthew!
I know, because I ain't seen it yet, but I heard it's really cool, though.
Okay, so I saw the Mario movie, and so did Matt's son. Um, I love this movie. I love that there were so many references to like Mario at large. It's Mario. So like the story's not complicated or anything like that. You know, he gets to the Mushroom Kingdom, does what he needs to do, gets out. I didn't need anything more than that. I love this movie so much. What did you think?
I thought the movie had very similar things to the actual game, but some things were very different. The movie itself was enjoyable, but some things weren't quite exact from the game. Like when Bowser grabbed the superstar, he smashed the block open and then the star came out. But normally in games, the way he smashed it wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
and the music was also like a cool remix of normal Mario songs, like from Super Mario Bros. 3. They had like some different remixes of the theme, overworld theme for some games.
That actually reminds me. Something I did not like about this movie is that they had like a beautiful like score, but then throughout different parts of the movie, they were like, all right, we gonna play random songs from the 80s. I'm like, what is happening right here? Like, why are we doing this? Like, who is this for?
Right. Matthew, what was your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part was probably when Mario had to fight Donkey Kong, because Donkey Kong is
your favorite.
Yeah, because Donkey Kong's my favorite Nintendo character.
So that's who you play with in Smash?
Yes, he's my second one. He's my second character to use.
Who you first?
Rob.
Wait, is that the robot or
Robot.
Okay.
And I really like how he's kind of a show off, but he's also like at the same time somewhat focused on like, I don't know how to describe it, but I like his personality in the game.
No, I get what you're saying. Like, he's good for a reason, but then he kind of let it get to his head.
Yeah.
No, it's good stuff. Like, I can't wait for the sequel. They kind of left some like loose ends about like where they could go with some of the characters. I'm kind of hoping they actually don't do that, because like what they alluded to was some stuff that would happen like if you were familiar with Mario Galaxy, like the one of the main characters from that.
I'm not familiar with Mario Galaxy.
Have you played it?
No.
They introduced a new female character in that game.
Yeah, Rosalina.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I feel like they alluded to like there's a connection between her and Princess Peach, but in a sequel, I would like them to introduce Daisy, which would actually take them away from the Mushroom Kingdom. Because Peach really isn't like involved in all of that stuff.
In the sequel, I want them to introduce the Koopalings.
I was hoping that they would make an appearance. I was so sad that they didn't.
Because Matthew, who's my favorite one?
Morton Cooper Jr.
I love me some Morton Cooper Jr.
That's funny.
So I hope
that used to be my favorite when I was younger, and because I always used to say it, because I used to love Mario. So because I kept on saying Morton Cooper Jr. all the time.
I really just like the name of it, Morton Cooper Jr. So I hope they do keep the kids involved and on this next one.
Yes. I mean, it's money to be made, and Nintendo likes making money.
Right. But I mean, they're doing some I mean, now with this and everything from what Sonic, Detective Pikachu. Now you already have characters, so now you can have a whole new one with just Donkey Kong origin and things of that nature.
What if they do Metroid?
Yeah, you can do Metroid, you can do Star Fox.
Legend of Zelda.
I feel like Metroid would be way too high concept.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it could be.
Star Fox, I could see them like having a lot of fun with that.
What about Legend of Zelda?
Definitely that.
What's
Yeah.
that other? Oh no, that was PlayStation. Never mind. I was
Gonna
thinking.
say Metal Gear Solid.
Crash Bandicoot?
No, I was gonna say Banjo Kazooie.
Mm.
What
No,
about
that wasn't PlayStation. Banjo was Nintendo. Well, yeah, Banjo was on Nintendo.
Okay, so Banjo. I mean, yeah. I mean, now, I mean, I don't see why none of these companies don't do this. Like Matthew said, where Crash Bandicoot at?
Well, my thing
Spyro
is
the Dragon.
Mario. Yes, it's Mario. Mario's been that guy for like 40 years.
Right.
But
if
like,
you think of Nintendo, most people think of Mario sometimes.
right. But then, like, if you're like, all right, here is a Banjo Kazooie movie. We know who. Do you know who Banjo Kazooie is, Matthew?
Yes, I know of it, and I've seen a few clips.
Okay.
See,
So-
you got to educate the youngins.
I don't know how financially viable that would be in a movie. Maybe a
Well,
TV
no, I mean,
show.
I was joking about Banjo Kazooie, but like a more prominent story, like yeah, well, not Spiral, but a Crash Bandicoot, yes. Donkey Kong, all them.
Yoshi? I mean, they had like.
Well, I mean, they
Yoshis.
they probably like
More
Nintendo got
associated
them.
with, yeah.
Right, yeah, they're gonna have that. But I'm saying like these other companies, you could probably do something.
I agree. It took them way too long to make a Sonic movie.
Right, right. And now they eating off that now, one right
Right.
after another.
Right. But I do find it funny that so this movie was actually supposed to come out in December of last year,
Mm-hmm.
but Nintendo saw how well Sonic did Easter this exact same weekend last year. And
Mhm.
so this time last year they pushed it from December to Easter to fuck with Sega.
Hey,
And
oh no, that was
they were clearly right. Like they destroyed the box office.
right, right. So, what do you think the negative what people said about the movie?
I mean, a lot of people were saying that it was kiddie and like the story was like weak and paper thin. And it's like,
Mhm.
what do you want from Mario?
Right. This ain't cinema.
Now, if they come out with a Zelda movie and it's some weak stuff, okay. But like Mario
Well,
is
yeah,
just
right.
like
That they actually have a real plot and everything to it. Yeah.
right. So from what they had to work with and what they did, it was fine.
Yeah, I think we talked about it offline, but yeah, I didn't. My whole thing is I didn't like him wanting to be with her thing.
Yeah, the whole why this is happening was kind of stupid.
Right.
And I feel like also a very loose reference to comic book Thanos. Because in the comic books, Thanos did all that stuff because he wanted to impress Death, like the personification of Death, which was a woman.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, besides that, yeah, I took it for what it worth. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So yeah. You should see it, Madge, when you have some time.
I'm gonna have to. It seems like everybody's been telling me it was really good. So
It's a
I like
lot.
Mario.
All right. Thank you for being on. You want to
Thank you.
plug anything on your way out? You want to tell anybody to look at your YouTube channel or anything? Your Twitch?
I used to, but you deleted it.
Right.
Oh, damn, he putting you out there like that. Now I gotta delete that.
Oh, no, it's okay. If you live your truth, then nobody can use it against you. But
That's fair.
it. You have anything to say on the way out?
Subscribe to Mr. Beast Gaming.
No, he got enough. He got enough subscribers.
Yeah, he doing all right out here.
Yeah,
He
he'll
curing blindness and things. He good.
he don't need us boosting him up.
Right.
Very last thing, I have seen the first 2.5 episodes of a show called Jury Duty. It's on Freevee, which is
Oh man, when you had that on the outline, I thought you actually was about to have some jury duty. I was gonna say, oh, what's this gonna be about?
So Freevee is a free streaming app by Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah. So Jury Duty is basically think The Office or Parks and Rec or even Abbott Elementary, but in jury duty, right?
Mhm.
But with the added element of one of the characters on the show is not an actor. He's a real person, and he doesn't realize that everybody is acting around him.
Oh, so it's like not a prank show, but
So it's sort of a reality show, but it's also like a Parks and Rec office where like they've got other little storylines and stuff going, and like they have confessionals to the camera. Like, dude thinks he's just doing a documentary about his jury duty experience, but everybody else is an actor, and like they're doing confessionals as their characters about what's happening in that episode.
Is it new, like new people each episode, or is this like a
No,
series?
this is like the same people. Like this is the same case.
Okay.
So also what's also kind of making it even funnier is that James Marsden is in it playing himself. That's, if you recall, that's the man from Sonic.
Oh yeah.
Sonic's sidekick dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's playing himself, but like an exaggerated asshole Hollywood guy. So like they're like in jury duty, like before you go into for jury selection, and he's talking to like the guy that's not an actor. And he's like, oh man, like I just realized where I know you're from. You were Cyclops and X-Men. He's like, yeah, I've done other stuff since then. Like I was in Westworld. No, I didn't see that. You see Sonic? No, I heard that was shit. Like he said that to him. He's like, okay. And so like the next day he came back and he's like, oh man, I watched Sonic last night. It's actually pretty good. He's like, thanks, man. Did you buy it? No, I watched it on Hulu. If you would have bought it, I would have got $1. So that's it's like little shit like that. And it's like they made him the foreman. Like he even told the confessional he did not want to be the foreman. And so like one of the other characters was trying to their best to be the foreman, but like she messed up the lunch order. Like obviously they're making him the foreman.
Right.
And so like he keeps, in the episode I'm watching now, he keeps getting in trouble with the judge because one of the jurors keeps falling asleep during the trial. And he's like, you got to keep them awake. Like you're responsible for this. But it's like, they're all actors, so they're doing it on purpose.
Okay.
So it's a really funny show because it's like, we're all in on the joke too. So it's like, they're just being ridiculous. And it's just like, it's insane because like they got sequestered because James Marsden keeps trying to do stuff to get out of jury duty. And so like they're stuck in a hotel together. And so these actors have to stay in character around this man. And I find that hilarious. So I highly recommend the show Jury Duty. It's funny and fun.
How many episodes is it?
It's 8 total, but they're coming out 2 a week. So currently there's 6 episodes out.
Okay.
And it's like, 30-ish minutes, like less than 30 minutes.
Okay.
All right. You guys ready to hit this?
Yes.
This week we discuss Tetris.
It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I played for 5 minutes. I still see falling blocks in my dreams. It's poetry, art, and math all working in magical synchronicity. It's the perfect game. Tetris?
Tetris.
Tetris. Tetris.
Tetris. I don't get it.
Businessman Hank Rogers and Tetris inventor Alexei Petrov join forces in the USSR, risking it all to bring Tetris to the masses. Spoilers, they succeed. So before we actually get into the review, what is you all's relationship to the video game Tetris?
My first time playing it was on, I don't know if it was mine or a friend's, but I remember playing it on a Game Boy, though. I think about my first time.
Mine, I don't know what my first time exactly was, but I love it. I play it on my phone. I actually go to an arcade bar here in St. Louis, and I play it all the time there. I normally lose at the arcade. I don't know why. It seems like a little bit harder at the arcade, but on my phone, I'm a champ. Like, so I love Tetris.
I mean, it's rigged in the arcades so that you spend money.
Yeah,
So there's
probably.
that. So growing up, I never really cared for Tetris. Like, last week, my cousin Vera was on, and I remember hanging out at her house and watching her play it, and like she got like super fucking far in it. And I'm gonna say a very gendered thing. Wait, I'm sorry. Gender is a spectrum. I'm gonna say a very sex-based thing. I feel like women, 99.9% of women like Tetris. If they don't like any other video game, they like Tetris.
That's true.
Why you say that?
This has been something that I've learned in my independent research of the world and talking to people, whether it be dating them or just like women like Madge, who, well, I've never dated Madge, but she is my friend.
Right, put the disclaimer out there.
So yeah, so she, she was killing it. But I did actually get into Tetris sort of through Dr. Mario maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
I love Dr. Mario. That's my thing.
I know.
What's Dr. Mario?
It's basically
A better version of Tetris.
It's Tetris, but with a Mario scam.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Tetris is more so of a game for like our generation and up? Or do you feel like more younger people are playing it as well? Because I thought I was like, well, only like older people play it, like us, and like older people play Tetris. Like young people don't play no Tetris.
Yeah, I believe it's for older generation because it's not visually stimulating for the younger generation and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah. Because like I remember playing it, but like you said, it wasn't a thing to where it was like, ooh, Tetris, because it just wasn't like that.
Right.
And you know what? I felt really embarrassed because I honestly thought Tetris was with Atari. Well, that, and maybe it's because I like so many Atari games, Frogger,
Well, technically it kind of was.
exactly. So I was like, dang, it wasn't Atari, because Atari my shit. Like I love Pac-Man and Frog, like boop boop boop. Yes. So, but no, I had to watch this movie twice. So honestly, I'm gonna say I watched this movie. I started not fully twice, but I started, and then I had to I was like 20 minutes into the movie, and I was like, wait a minute, let me go back. So then I rewound and I started all the way over. First, I thought it was gonna be a cartoon or like a I didn't think it was gonna be a serious or a documentary type of movie or whatever. I thought it was gonna be like a cool movie. I thought it was gonna be like
Cool movie.
What am I thinking about? What's the movie? What's the cartoon movie that Wreck-It Ralph? I was thinking it was gonna be like something like that, but it was like Tetris based. So that's what I was looking for at first. And I was like, what the hell is this shit? So yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's roll back a sec though. So let's kind of break this down into like the levels of the movie.
Okay.
So level 1 was the start of the movie so the start of the movie, it kicks off at the gaming expo.
Right.
Yes.
And it kind of goes from that to like him explaining to the bank people the history of Tetris. So what were your all's thoughts on that?
I enjoyed. Okay, wait, before we start, did you know any of this stuff before you watched the movie?
Yeah, I mean, I knew some parts of it. Like I knew that it was a Russian game. I knew that, it was the 80s, so stuff with Russia and America was kind of like a little dicey. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure about like the exact, this company owned these rights to this, that, and the other. I wasn't familiar with all that nuanced stuff.
Because I knew that it was a Russian game, and I knew that there was problems with licensing. I didn't know the details and everything else like that. I just knew there was situations involved with licensing, not to the extent that they did.
Right.
But starting off, I liked it. I liked the storytelling of the beginning when he's with the banker and he's explaining everything. I liked how they also threw in the 8-bit graphics for different storylines and stuff like that. Yeah, it set it up nice of where are we going. So I did enjoy that part leading up to level 2.
I thought that black girl that was playing Tetris at that expo was fine as shit. That's my main takeaway. Also, I did think it was pretty neat that they were doing those like 8-bit transitions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty neat in the very beginning of the movie.
Well, I didn't know any background information about Tetris, honestly. And I think watching the movie made me feel like, oh, why did not know anything? But why did not want to know like about this game before I played? And then when he was breaking down and talking to the banker guy, I'm like, you didn't take that 500,000? Like, what? You passed that up? But when I thought about, okay, the bigger picture where he was thinking when he said it, I was like, okay, I get where he's going. But when they started breaking down who had what and who got the rights and who built it, I was so confused at first. I was like, what in the world is going on? Like, it was a lot of foolery going on. But I think they explained it and they broke down each step really well.
Yeah.
But I was super confused for a while.
All right, so level 2 is the bank agrees, and you wrote start selling Tetris. What does that mean?
The bank agrees, so he starts production where he went back to his company, was like, yeah, guys, we're good to go, and they start doing everything. So then that leads up to the son calling him and telling him how he don't have rights and everything else like that. And everything else like that. And they tell them that they don't have arcade rights. So they had to stop production on that. And that leads up to where he's going to, they show him the Game Boy. And then they're like, can we get rights? And then level 3 starts where he goes to Russia to try to get the rights.
They were still doing those transitions in level 2. And I was like, I'm starting to get very annoyed by this.
We mean transitions from
the 8-bit stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because they kept cutting away to it. I'm like, okay, please stop.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully.
Oh yeah, when it was 3 guys and they had the little
they just kept going. They just kept going. I'm like, I get it. I fucking get it, guys.
Yeah, just like when
cool.
Wait, because this is during the time where he was like, yeah, when he went to Nintendo and he was like, I thought that was kind of, at first I was like, when he was talking to the president of Nintendo and he was like, Mario has Luigi and everything else like that. And then he was like, they agreed on it. And later on, he was like, they screwed him on his rights. And he was like, can you give me a mushroom? And he gave that whole analogy about the plant. What was the plant called?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
When he gave that example, I was like, did you really say that? Is this something like made up for the movie? I'm like, that seemed kind of corny. I got the partnership one. Okay, that was kind of funny and everything, playing off Nintendo's games. But when he was like, I need a star and everything, I was like, that seems kind of like Hollywoodish language to use.
Yeah, I should have like looked into it because it's like when they were doing the bit about like, oh yeah, Nintendo of America, we're making this deal with Nintendo of America. I'm like, I don't think that's a thing because Nintendo of Japan runs all of Nintendo. And like, yes, we have an American branch, but they mostly just do PR stuff. Like they're an advertising company. Like it's a shell. It's like they not developing anything, or they're not doing any real stuff. They can't really make moves.
Right. And you're talking about when they developed the Game Boy.
Right.
Also, I thought that was like when he was like, is it color? And he was like, oh no, color is gonna take 8 batteries. This is cheaper. Put the fucking 8 batteries in there. You're about to do. I mean, I get it. The Game Boy was something totally different, but I'm like, all it required was 2 more batteries.
I mean, look, man, it was. Think of how much more bulky the original Game Boy would have been.
Yeah,
Right.
it was
with
already
extra memory.
big.
Because then what after this was Game Boy Advance, right? That was the one with the no, they had Game Boy Color first, right?
So they had a Game Boy Pocket, and then the Game Boy Color.
Okay.
So they figured out how to make it smaller,
Smaller. And then when did Game Boy Advance come out?
The 2000s,
Yeah,
2000, 2021, something like that.
Okay.
So then we got chapter 3, level 3. He goes to Russia, and then that's when the movie starts to feel like, all right, we're in a spy movie now.
Yeah.
This is James Bond.
Right, because to me that's where it kind of like picked up to where there was actual, I shouldn't say actual stakes. There was stakes involved to this whole thing because he put his house on there, but it seemed like a different type of stakes. Like you weren't concerned about if he was going to sell the house, it's more concerned about his whole well-being and if he was going to make it out here alive.
Right.
That girl had me tricked. I really thought she was on his side until she kissed him. And I was like, why would you kiss him? He ain't gave you no advances like he wanted to. Was that in the part 3? Or was that part 4?
Part 3 was so long. But no, like my thing was like the window was wide open. And then she was super close to him. I was like, no, this is a setup, my G.
I was like,
this is a
he ain't gave
setup.
you no inkling that he wanted to kiss you, lady. Why is you in his face like that? So, yeah. But I still didn't think she was in on it until that next scene. So when I saw, I was like, damn, she was guilty. I guess, man, I thought she was on his team helping him out, doing the translations for him. Or whatever. I can't remember the character's name. Dang, the one who kept going back and forth from room to room and he kept asking them questions like,
the supervisor guy.
Yeah. And I was like, dang, he changing the whole contract based on what he's saying. Every time he says them, he was like, okay, I'll be right back. And he would just leave and go change. And I was like, man, I really thought that was I mean, I guess genius on his end if you're trying to get you a good deal. I mean, technically, but I don't know. It was a lot going on in that whole third level.
Right, yeah. But I liked it to where the whole going back, checking the contract, and him trying to be friends with Alexi, going back to the house, going back to the party and everything. And they wanted Coca-Cola, they wanted Levi jeans. Yeah, I think like
I got so scared when that knock came on the door. I literally thought it was like one of the their official people. And here it was a nice little neighbor, like, can I get some salt? I think she said salt. Yeah, but I was scared. I was gonna be in the closet too, like, don't say nothing, like, don't move. Like,
to me, he was kind of not ignorant. That's not the right word. He was
like way too naive of the situation.
Yeah, naive. Yeah, because he was like, why do I need? He already said that he can't have foreigners in their house. So when they put him in the closet, he's like, why? Dude, because you in a foreign country, they in a communist country. So he was kind of naive on all the stuff, but I guess him being naive allowed him to do everything he was able to accomplish.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was kind of with the movie until that bit. Like when he was doing like programming stuff with Alexi, I was like, okay, this is fun. And then it's like, oh man, we had a scare, because of the knock at the door, but it was nothing. Hey, let's go partying. What?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
He's trying to live his best life. He YOLO.
Just risking that whole man's whole family. Okay.
Right.
So that's when I started to kind of get disengaged with the movie because I'm like, bro, like you can't be acting like this in these circumstances.
Also, another thing is, I thought they would be more ruthless.
The Russians.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they really didn't do nothing to Alexei. I mean, they threw his shit out, and like there was no, and they kind of like beat him up a little bit, but it wasn't like we're gonna take your wife out in the back and shoot her in the head or anything else like that. It wasn't like as ruthless as I thought they were going to be.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't really like how the movie tried to have it both ways, where it's
how
like
the Russians be the good guy and the bad guy, or do what's good or do what's right and what's and bad at the same time.
Well, I wasn't really talking about like that on a character level, but like the movie's like, oh yeah, many bad things can happen to you if you step wrong here.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, here's clear evidence of these people stepping wrong. And they kind of did some stuff, but not really, because they didn't want them to look too much like villains.
Right.
But
See,
you keep saying that they're villains.
right. And that's where a thing I got to where like the trope is Russians, bad, communist spies and stuff like that. So you get that all the way through to then where you get the girl who's a spy who's bad, but even though she's bad, she's still trying to hold up the good part.
Right,
And it was kind of
right,
like you
right.
trying to do both sides on this to where they're bad 90% of this movie, but these last 10 minutes, see, even though they're bad, they're still holding up the honor code and like that at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's by that point I was just really disengaged with the movie because I'm like, you gotta pick a lane and you gotta stick in that movie.
Right.
Yeah. So that the last level was level 4 where they go back to Russia with Nintendo and it's a whole race to the airport, and I'm like, I don't
Hold on,
really...
wait, one more thing to back up real quick. Another person being naive was the billionaire's son, where he kept saying, "What are you doing? We just got to move some money around. Why are these people shredding stuff? Oh, we're just trying to get rid of some stuff for the audit."
Right.
It was just like he was so naive and stupid not to believe anything.
Right. I didn't care for that either.
Yeah, and I feel like the people who made this do not like him.
Don't like who?
The son.
Yeah.
Because he honestly, he looks worse. His character was portrayed worse than the billionaire was.
Yeah.
So I feel like even the Russians, like to me, the son was treated as a wholehearted villain throughout this worse than the Russians or everything else. So whoever made this movie or was a part of it and wrote it, they do not like that person in real life.
Yeah, and then they also had him be so unlikable. It's Mr. Whatever to you, whatever his last name was. Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so the last part is Hank and the people from Nintendo go to Russia to try and screw up the deal for Tetris, and they get it, but then they have to rush out of the country before they're taken out. And I'm like, movie, like the characters aren't doing things that make sense anymore. Like it's very clear that these people do not have the money that they said that they had to pay you, and you're still doing stuff for them.
Right. And then they try to make up for it saying like, I don't trust your money. I want equity. So if this company doesn't have no money, how can they produce anything?
Right.
So even if you do give them the rights to the game, they don't have money to make the stuff. So it's like, it's not making sense.
Right. And like the movie, I don't even know why the movie wanted a car chase. That was just
right. And well, say, and then it was like, who? So, okay, no, never mind. I fixed it in my head. Never mind. I answered it in my head.
About the guy being naive, I thought the Russian was naive when they were at the airport. Like, the people are coming. He's telling you, like, go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and go through customs. I guess they was going through when they got their passport check. He was like, "No, I'm trying to stay." Man, if you don't go about your business, you try to get caught with us, like.
Yeah.
I just thought that was come on now, you guys. But I really thought that they was gonna catch him. And then when they got to the airport, I was like, oh man, it's super close. And I was like, if I'm at the airport and I'm a bad guy, I'm running all through this thing trying to find y'all. He just standing there looking around. I was like, I guess that happened. But I knew they wasn't on the plane to Tokyo, so I wasn't surprised when they didn't find him on the plane. Because all he asked for was the first plane out. He didn't say I was trying to go home. So I knew he wasn't on Tokyo's flight.
So overall, Madge, what did you think of this movie?
I get a movie a B+.
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was good. It was, some parts were entertaining. Some parts I felt like were a little far-fetched, some Hollywood fluff. So that's what I think.
Matt?
I enjoyed it. I like how they got Japanese in there and everything. So I watched this movie twice because I watched it once by myself. And then once I realized, oh, they got some Japanese in here. Let me watch this with my wife. And then also because I was trying to figure out the different levels and I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, let me just watch this again and notate it whenever it happens. So then I watched it twice. But Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I'll give it a 4 stars. They explain the scenarios and everything else like that. I was entertained throughout. There was never a time where I was like, "Let me go look at my phone." But it was good. I enjoyed it. The main actor, what's his name?
Kieran Edgerton.
Good actor.
Yeah.
He played Rocket Man. You talking about the guy who played Rocket Man, right?
And
Yeah.
Kingsman also.
Got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I thought the movie was all right. Like I said, like I got kind of disengaged with the movie when like the shiny veneer came off, and I'm like, okay, well, this is clearly like Hollywood fluff. And then what kind of made me mad was, at the end of the movie, especially movies like this, where they show you like what the real people look like, and they showed you what real Hink looked like. And I'm gonna put a picture in the group chat, and YouTube people, you can see this too. And what really irritated me was that in the year 2023, you hire a white man to be the lead of this movie when in real life, the real guy was a man of color.
Yes.
And I'm looking at this and I'm like, why didn't they just have Danny Pudi? He was Abed from Community. He's also on that show on Mythic Quest, an Apple TV show. Like, why we have people of color that can lead movies. And this movie, it's not like this went to the theater. This went to Apple.
Right.
So you saying that you need a bankable star is stupid. Like, bankable for what? So that people can watch this in their pajamas?
Right.
So that really kind of ticked me off with the movie, because I'm like, why would you do that? And it's like, there are Asian people in this movie. There's like a handful. But like, you could have had a lead that was a person of color in this movie, because in real life, the lead is a person of fucking color.
Right. This ain't a made up person. This actual real person. Yeah.
Right.
I imagine like you see, like whenever they was doing rights or whatever, they was like, we about to get this person into it. And you look up and he's like, this guy looks nothing like me. But he's a good actor, so I guess so.
But it don't even look like me. Like, this man's a different race.
Right.
We get Brad Pitt to play Matt in the Matt story, but it's like, cool, but
that got me thinking we should get Ben Affleck and Matt Damon to do our movie version of the podcast.
I'm with it. It'll make as much money as Air.
Right.
I haven't seen it. Was it good?
That's the funny thing. Like, I had the option to either see Air or an early screening of Renfield, and I was like, well, Avi, early screening of Renfield. And as soon as we stopped recording on that podcast episode, I was like, we should have saw Air.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Viola Davis is in Air, yo.
And also, her husband plays her husband. Her real life husband plays her husband in the movie.
He sure does.
And that chemistry better be perfect then.
I mean, the problem is none of us will ever know.
That's true.
All right. What do y'all think the Rotten Tomatoes was on this movie?
60.
Yeah, I would say like 79 or 75 or something.
81%.
81.
Wow.
And an 88% audience score.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna be the blind person here. I never really understand Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, if that shit good, like the higher number it is, that means like the movie was good.
Yeah, it's like a grade.
I got I'm the silly person who's still looking for Easter eggs on Avengers movie. They was like the eggs. I was like, I was the damn eggs. So I didn't know it was other stuff until like 2 years ago. So yes.
Okay, Madge. Okay.
Yeah,
I appreciate you being brave enough to share that.
Yeah, there's some other people out there just like me, but they might have been looking for Easter eggs too. Sure.
All right, so we're playing a new game this week. It's called Over Under. I will make a statement with numbers in it, and you will tell me with a thumbs up or a thumbs down if the actual number is higher or lower than what I stated. Okay?
Okay.
All right, number 1. The Game Boy version of Tetris sold 30 million copies. Okay, you both said that it is it needs to yes. We're going up. You both said up.
Right.
Yes.
Excuse me. So you both are right. It's 35 million. Just the Game Boy version. Just Game Boy.
Right.
The original USSR version of Tetris was released in 1985. Madge is
Oh.
saying, what are you saying? Up? Yeah.
You said 85?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Matt is saying lower, and so is Madge. June 6, 1984.
Okay.
And the last one, the movie had a $75 million budget.
75 million.
Madge is saying the budget should be lower. And Matt is saying higher. It had an $80 million budget.
Oh, damn.
Those 8-bit transitions weren't cheap.
Right.
Also, it was a period piece. So, you got to find like wardrobe and vehicles and stuff.
Right.
All right. Trivia dump. The Tetris was the best-selling video game of all time from 1993 to 2020, when it was surpassed by Minecraft. However, it should be noted that that count includes all ports of the game, which vary technologically from one version to the next. The now defunct mobile version, developed by EA, had alone sold over 100 million copies, making it the third best-selling game after Minecraft and Grand Theft Auto 5, because they won't let that game die.
See, that's what when you said to 2020, I was like, and my first instance was Grand Theft Auto 5. He said Minecraft, and I was like, wow.
The Tetris franchise as a whole has sold nearly 500 million copies, making it the second best-selling franchise after Mario.
Wow.
Last thing, and this is kind of a downer. Robert Maxwell is the father of 9 children, one of whom was found guilty of child sex trafficking in connection with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
I mean, no comment.
I got a question though.
Okay.
So since nowadays you don't buy games, for example. So for example, something like, how would they rate something like Fortnite, since you don't actually pay for Fortnite?
Well, you wouldn't try to buy copies sold. You would try to buy money earned.
Okay.
Yeah. They buying them skins.
Yes,
Right.
they are.
Right.
And
Yeah.
V-Bucks. Oh my
That's
God.
all my son asked for is V-Bucks.
That and the Roblox stuff, which I
What is Roblox? I know I'm old. Now I'm old.
Roblox is like Minecraft, but different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That clears it up. Thank you.
Because really it's like, it's Roblox, you can build stuff, but then you also have like characters, so it's different.
Well, okay. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, Madge. It's always a pleasure. Such nice, chill, fun conversation. Mostly because we talk almost every day anyway. So this is just the audio version of that. So
Right. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, thank you for being on. We appreciate it.
Yeah. You got anything you want to plug before we get on out of here?
Nope, no plugging nothing.
Fuck
Hope
'em.
these kids go to sleep on time. Don't be waking up early.
Well, they're gonna go to sleep on time, but they asses are getting up when the sun comes up.
Hey,
Little roosters.
exactly.
They're the worst. But you aren't the worst listener, and we thank you so much for listening. Please rate, like, and review our podcast on your platform of choice. If you have any feedback, please email us at weusedtotalkpod@gmail.com. Like our Facebook page, We Used to Talk About This at Work, and follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, while it's illegal, at We Used to Talk Pod. Follow me on Letterboxd at BOW1213 and Matt at Mr. King 0257. Come back next week for part 3 of our Indiana Jones retrospective, when we discuss Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
And like always, I don't know if this was a good episode. I don't know if it was a bad episode, but whatever you think about it, talk about it at work. Thank you for listening.